Hello, Facebook friends. I just am reporting on some dreams that I've had, and some of them seem like they're starting to come to pass. So, to me, that is a confirmation to share. And one thing that I do know, time is short, so I want to share some of these things with you guys. So, I'm going to try to post when I feel led and when I have time. With work and such. So I have dreams sometimes, and the meanings are not exactly what they seem. And when I just have repeat dreams throughout time, I know what certain things do mean. So I'm going to start off with a dream that I believe pertains to the time that we're in right now. And so let's start. I had a dream, I think it was around probably 8 years ago, right after I met Hugh. Before Trump came into office and things really started to pick up and get strange. And I wasn't sure what it meant at the time. I had a clue, but I wasn't sure. But now I definitely know what it means. So in this dream, I was in a river, and it was with Hugh. And we were holding on to a log floating down the river. And at first, this river, from what I remember, was peaceful. It was just moving along, kind of like when you're floating down the river with your friends having a good time. And as we traveled down the river, the river started to get more choppy, and there were things in the river like sticks and mud and junk, and the river started to move quicker. And the houses along the side, at first were like normal. Everything was normal, like when you're passing by things floating along the river. And then as things started to speed up, the water started to get more choppy. The homes on the side of the river started to just look more broken down, abandoned, broken up. And then the river started to progress even more and get more choppy, and I started going into white waters. And we were floating down the river, and I noticed, it was getting scary. There were big logs in the river. There was all this stuff floating down the river, kind of like what you see when it floods in a big storm. And the houses and the trees along the river were broken down and messed up and screwed up. And the further I got along the river, the more choppy and crazy it got, and everything around me was broken down, and I woke up. So what I know for that to be true from other dreams that I've had before is this represents, for me, life, for the things around me, the world, what's happening. It was smooth at the time, that I had this dream and I didn't understand it. And, as we saw things progress, as, the last president was in office, and, after he left and now this new, whatever you want to call it, is in office, he was not duly elected. I think it's pretty easy to see if you do any kind of research, just how the world has broken down and how, around every single corner, something new is happening. There's some new tragedy. There's something new to fear, basically, right? The world is breaking down like never before, right in front of our very eyes. And, I think that's pretty apparent to most people, Christian or not. It's like, what is going on? Anyhow, that was the first dream, and I pretty much knew what that meant at the time, and now I'm seeing, it really, come into fruition. I know what's going on, and I don't even know if I'm saying that wrong. If I'm not, sorry. All right, so I'm going to go to dream number 2, and I don't have dates on these, but this dream was probably, I would say, about 3-4 years ago, if I was going to take a good guess at it. And in this dream, I don't know if you've ever seen one of those shot over boats. They go buzzing around, and they're like zoom, 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 and they do circles, and they're kind of scary, and they're jet boats, and they go really, really fast. And people usually do it like, if they're on vacation somewhere tropical, it might be going down a river or floating around on the ocean and just doing all these cool maneuvers. So in this dream, I was on this boat, and we were going down a river, and it was a river with, big, huge walls up and down it. And it was twisting and turning, and it was a really, crazy river. And so we were on this shot over boat, and I got on this ride, and this guy goes down this river, and it's twisting and it's turning, and it looks like the boat's going to run into the wall like every time it does a turn, and it's doing all these crazy maneuvers, and I am scared out of my mind. And it looks like it's going to hit the wall. It doesn't hit the wall. All of a sudden it turns at the very last minute. And, that reminds me of kind of what we're going through right now in life, right? It seems like at every moment, at every turn, there's something crazy going on, or there's some new tragedy, is there's something new to fear, there's something going on in the world that causes us to be like, I don't know if you guys feel like that, but I definitely feel like that. And I think a lot of people really do, no matter what you believe. And it's very confusing, it's scary, and it's easy to get sucked into. Okay. So either way, all right, I'm in this dream and this is happening at every turn. It looks like we're going to hit something and we're going to crash. And my dream comes to a spot where we are going into these really scary white waters. And there's this white water and this wave that's just huge, and we're about to crash into it full speed. And I believe there's a rock or something there, and the boat goes under. It just goes like this. And I'm like, we're going to die. We're going to die. We're going to die. And I was so scared. And I just was like, I thought I was going to die at that moment in that boat as it went under. And the boat comes up, and I heard from God. And God said to me in my dream, he goes, it's not real. This is all a simulation. And I was like, what? What does that mean? And then the boat smoothed out, and we went to the dock, and I got off, and everything was fine. So I believe with that dream that God was telling me that something big is going to happen where we all think we're going to die, and it's just a simulation. And what I think that does possibly mean as well, and I don't know, take it as you will, pray on it, ask God for answers, is that I think the media and the higher ups in the government that may be for the world, right? They may create a false flag, a false situation, or something's going to happen where we really feel like this is it, right? I mean, I really feel like that could happen at any time. It's just kind of like unsettling all the time. So I just want you to keep in mind that God told me that this is a simulation, not to be scared, not to be worried. So if something does happen this Friday, this Saturday, whatever the case is, Hamas right now is threatening a lot of things, right? They're threatening attacks. They're threatening all sorts of different things. And the world is extremely unstable right now. But just keep in mind, draw close to Jesus while he is near, while you can, before these things take place, because he gives peace that surpasses all understanding. And he's the one that's going to keep you calm. He's the one who's going to protect you. So while you can, while you are still breathing, run to him, seek him, leave sin behind, pray for your family, pray for yourself. Be ready to have that peace and to sleep in the boat. We need to sleep in the boat, because I'll tell you what, when it's time for you to go, it's time for you to go. There's nothing that you can do about it. But I do know that if you let the Lord protect you and give you peace, he will do that. And he will keep you safe. And there's nothing that we can do. There is no reason to worry, especially when you know where you're going and where your heart is. There's no need to worry. This life is but a breath. It's just a little breath. Eternity is forever. And nothing here on this earth is worth losing that. It really is not. I have seen things that I'll share in my testimony later. I know that hell is real. I know that heaven is real. And I know that Jesus saves not only our soul, but he has saved my actual life. He has saved my life to the point where I saw a gun being released from the chamber coming towards me. I saw the explosion and it evaporated right before my eyes. Time slowed down. I can't explain it. I have a witness. Hugh was on the phone with me. He saved me, and that's not the only time. My point is not that I'm special, because I'm not. I absolutely am not. I do not deserve his mercies and his grace, but it's your time to go when it's your time to go. And the Lord can save you, and he will save you. Have faith. What it takes is faith. If you believe it to be, he says, if you believe that mountain will move, it will move. So anyhow, I'm excited to share my testimony and just the wonderful things that he's done in my life, and even how stubborn and stupid I've been throughout my life. Because you know what? Everybody is at times, and that's okay. Paul murdered Christians. He was the worst of the worst. It doesn't matter what you've done or who you are or what you're doing right now. All you have to do is turn and face him and knock, and he will answer. Anyways, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you enjoyed this. I think I might start putting some videos out on YouTube soon. I've also thought about doing some Bible studies, end time Bible studies. I've got a lot of really neat stuff I really feel that the Lord has shared with me that I'd love to share with y'all, especially if you have a hard time understanding, where we are in time, what's going on. I've got a lot of stuff that has connected to some dreams that I've had, so yeah, anyways, you guys have an absolutely wonderful day, and thanks for listening. Bye.